Good evening. This is Hudson Valley Week in Review, where we look back at the people, places, and issues making news in Ulster County and the region. I'm Greene. We begin tonight in Kingston, where more and more community farms and gardens are sprouting. One in particular, the South Pine Street City Farm, which just opened for the season last month. The farm was established back in 2012 by the Kingston Land Trust program. Joel Zini and Trish Hawkins, who run the farm, haven't always been in the farming business. In fact, Zini previously worked in landscape and at the Kingston Library, while Hawkins was an actress. We stopped by the South Pine Street City Farm, where we found Joel and Trish.
This is the fourth year that the farm's been going, and it's our first year here. And the land was donated by Binnawater Ice Company, which is right across the street here. There used to be a house here, and a big old house, and it was torn down, and then Jessica Clark was the first person who was here, and she turned it into a farm. And in the winter, I suddenly thought, I'm going to call up the Land Trust, Kingston Land Trust, and see if anybody's slated to run the farm this summer. And so I did, and it turned out nobody was slated, and so we came and talked to Diane, and that's how it happened.
Well, we either were transplanting or we're sowing new seeds into the ground, or every day we have to water pretty much. It's been quite a drought of a season thus far. And just whatever needs to get done each day, fertilizing the plants, a little hoeing, weeding, pretty much all that. But right now we're trying to get as much stuff planted as possible.
Because Diane, when she had the building torn down that was here, which had evidently kind of fallen into disrepute, so she tore it down, and she wanted to do something for the community. And she was thinking about doing a basketball court, but then she decided that a farm would be appropriate. Actually, the ice company across the street there was first in 1900. It was a real ice company with big chunks of ice, but then it belonged to her family, the Davenport family, and they grew corn elsewhere, not here, corn and broccoli, and then they got the ice to ship it from this place. They kept their ice here. Now it's mostly water that they do there.
Right now, a lot of brassicas, collards, kale, mustard greens, some mesclun mix, lettuce. Later on, we're going to have more onions, beets, tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, squash, all kinds of stuff. But right now, it's mostly the collards and the greens that are available.
And radishes.
And radishes, and arugula, yeah.
Well, they're coming out. I mean, we've only had one day open so far. Monday was our opening day, and we had a good crowd. And farming in Kingston now is kind of on the upsurge. There's a lot of, I just went to a meeting yesterday about eating well Kingston, it's called. And then there's Living Well Kingston and so on. And people are trying to get together and get food to people and people to food.
Well, most of our stuff we started indoors. We do some direct sow, and we have an idea of when things are going to be ready to harvest, but we just kind of improvise and keep an eye out. There's certain things we'll have to do again, succession crops like lettuce and herbs. But
that's one thing we're really going to be learning more about this year is succession planting. In other words, always having a crop of lettuce available, and timing it right so that everybody gets lettuce all the time. We're working on that. Here's our bulletin board. A bunch of greens. You can have these mixed, or you can have them separate. It's $2 a bunch. Red lettuce, $2.50 a head. radishes, 12 for $2, mesclun mix, $3 for half a pound, and arugula, $3.50 for half a pound.
3 to 7 Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and if we're around a little before or after, people are welcome to come in then, or if we're here during the week and they stop by. But we absolutely guarantee to be here from 3 to 7 Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Well, we opened on May 25th, and then we'll run. Do we have a closing day?
We're
Sometime
tentatively
in
thinking
October.
October 28th.
Well, I guess many reasons. The foremost one, I think, is taste. Like we had a mixed greens mix the other night from here, and just with a little olive oil in a pan, and it was absolutely delicious. Very much better than what you usually get, even in a health food store, because it's so fresh. And then also, of course, there's the health benefits. Greens, I think, are about the healthiest thing you can possibly eat.
Well, we're willing to take any requests people have, and we want to reach out to people who normally have a hard time paying for organic at the store, at a typical grocery store.
We are going to be taking, I can't remember what it's called, but it's where it's like a, I'm not sure what it is. It's sponsored by the state, and we're certified to take these checks that people get, like food stamps. Yeah, like that. But we're also reaching out to a couple of local little restaurants, because there's a couple of really nice vegetarian restaurants in Uptown, and there's one restaurant who started out not vegetarian, but this year he's doing salads for the first time. So we figure he'd be a good partner for us, because he's starting out too.
Well, we'd like to be here a few years if possible, and gradually increase the amount of space, the amount of crops we grow in the space we have, using square foot gardening and methods that will help us to hopefully produce more and reach out to the community more.
One thing too is that I'd like to see people come here and get used to to see it, and to get used to being here. And there's a wonderful shade garden in the back. There's a picnic table. There are picnic tables there. So it's really kind of an open place that people could come. And I like to pretend it's country. I've got those old chairs there. It's like Ma and Pa kettle or whatever. But I'd like people to be comfortable with being here.
I enjoy seeing a farm like this in Kingston, because this is so good for the heart, the soul, and the body. Because coming into this garden, I feel like my shoulders dropped. They were up around my ears earlier, just because of, the everyday stuff of life. And coming in here, I'm just feeling like a relaxation that's amazing. And so that's kind of like a side benefit. I mean, then here in Kingston, having this in the middle of this urban area, which is really a food desert area, is such a gift, that people can come and access, grown right here in front of your eyes food that's economically accessible and priceless. I mean, you can't put a price tag on this. Chemical-free food, it's amazing. I plan on being here very often, buying my produce, and I believe they're open, is it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 3 to 7. I plan on being here pretty often, because the quality of the produce is amazing, and also you can't beat the prices here at all. There's no way.
When we return, Ulster County is honored not once, but twice. We'll tell you all about it next.